Hi, this is Krishna Reddy, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, GPCET, Karnool. Now we are going to discuss about Linux programming and scripting. This paper belonging to the Department of ECE under MOOCs concept. Now what is the main objective of this paper is the students able to write scripting skills in embedded systems and VLSI technology. He is able to understand how he is going to integrate scripting is going to integrate in electronics and communication department. This paper having 5 units, unit 1 and 2 belonging to the basic fundamentals and basic networking concept, unit 3, 4, 5 belonging to the scripting, Python, Perl, TCL scripting. If we come to syllabus in unit 1, it's having basic fundamentals. What is meant by Linux, who introduced Linux, what is the history of Linux, how the file system is going to store in Linux operating system, what is the architecture of the Linux operating system, how we are going to create users and groups and removing users and groups. Finally, the file permissions and the searching files and directories, compressing and uncompressing concepts. These are the very basic fundamentals in Linux and scripting programming system. Then next we'll go how we are going to create users and groups. We have Unix will allows vast number of users to add to the operating system. It is very pretty simple to add and remove users and groups in Unix operating system. Linux understand users and groups. A user can belonging to several groups. A file can be belonging to only one user and one group at a time. If you want to know how to find user, you can use super user command. It will display who is the root of the user. Only root can change the ownership of a file. User information stored in etc/password. Password information is stored in etc/shadow. Group information is stored in etc/group. Now we'll go how we are going to set permission to the file. The system will give some default permissions to the file. If you want to know that permissions, you have to give umask command, umask. A program may be run by any user when the system starts by any other processes. Now before going to file permissions, you have to know how many users is available in Unix operating system. There are three types of users available in Unix operating system. One is user, another one is group, others. User is the owner, group collection of users is called as group, others not belonging to the users and others. We can say it is a third party list. If you want to know default file permissions, first we create roughly one file. Now we can check ls-l file name. It will give this information. This information means one long information about file. First column indicates hyphen. Hyphen means it indicates what type of file it is, whether regular file or device file or binary files. Next column indicates permissions: read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, write, execute. First to read, write, execute. First to three permissions for group. Next to three permissions for first three permissions for user. Next to three permissions for group. Finally for others. Next, owner of the file. Next column, group of the file. Next column, file name. Next column, when that file was created and updated recently. This paper having 5 units, unit 1 and 2 belonging to the basic fundamentals and basic networking concept, unit 3, 4, 5 belonging to the scripting, Python, Perl, TCL scripting. If we come to syllabus in unit 1, it's having basic fundamentals. What is meant by Linux, who introduced Linux, what is the history of Linux, how the file system is going to store in Linux operating system, what is the architecture of the Linux operating system, how we are going to create users and groups and removing users and groups. Finally, the file permissions and the files are owned by a user or a group. If we come to who is the owner means a file is belonging to whether it is a user or it is a group. File have permissions for user, group, others. Other permission is often means outside of the world, not related to the your system. We have three permissions: read permission, write permission, execute permissions. User can able to change these permissions according to the user requirement. Now, how you are going to identify? If your system is black and white system, you are going to identify these files by using colors. If it is not black and white system, how you are going to identify? D. D indicates directory. It is a directory file. Hyphen. Hyphen indicates it is a regular file. L. Symbolic files. S. Super file. P. It is a named file. It support to the pipes. C. Special character file. B. Special block files. Now these are the different file indications available in Unix. How you are going to set up? What is the symbolics we have? How you are going to set up permissions by using symbolics? Plus indicates adding permission, minus indicates removing permission, equal to indicates assigning permissions. Symbolic mode. Now we are going to learn how we are going to set file permissions in symbolic mode. Symbolic mode, U indicates user, G indicates group, O indicates other. Just now what I discussed. Plus indicates adding permission, minus indicates removing permission, equal to indicates assigning the permission. Indicates only read and execute. Now this is the way to change the file. CH mode, you have to give the permissions. You have to give any one number. First number indicates user, second number indicates group, finally last number indicates others. If you want to recheck that ls-l long lasting information, it will modify that what system defaultly given permissions, it will give new one, it will set new one. Then how you are going to search files and directories? By using find command. Dot indicates current directory, slash indicates root directory, find command, slash indicates root directory, home indicates home directory. Now we have some small commands. Locate, file locating program that uses the slocates database, where the file is located in the database. It will give the file name and directory name. Now finally we have last concept, how we are going to zip and unzipping the files. Compress, what is meant by zipping and unzipping? We are going to reduce the size of the file compression and uncompression. It is also called as file backup and restoring. To compress the file or to zip the file, compress command we are using, or zip command we are using. Uncompress, to expand the data, uncompress or unzipping. It's having some advanced level. Gzip, zip a file to dot extension dot zz file. Unzip, unzipping a file, it is also same as dot zz. tar, archive files and directories, it stores files and directories on tapes. tar command on tapes. Tapes means we have some external devices, CDs, USBs, like these devices. Zip, compress a file to a .zip file. Unzip, uncompresses a file with .zip extension. Thank you. Within short time we will move to the unit 2.